Hello, everybody. My name is Nena Mack. I'm an astrologer and a tarot reader, and today I have the privilege of being able to read for Mr. Aoide.
Hello, I am Mr. Aoide and the father of Daughter of Nuit and husband of Awkwardly Gothy. Thanks for joining.
All right. Do you have a question today, or do you want a general?
A general would be good.
Okay, so no specific questions.
No.
All right.
That will answer the question I don't have yet. That'll tell me what I should have asked.
This reading will produce many questions.
Okay. Better answers than questions.
Absolutely. We're going to use this divination tool for answers.
Or direction with intention.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
You know, I'm not the only one that has to shuffle. Are you wanting to connect with the cards directly?
Of course.
Okay. Well, here you go.
Am I doing the four card cut also, or is that up to the reader?
You can do the 4-card cut. Go ahead.
I go by threes in my shuffles when I pull my card.
Yes. Connect with the cards since we have the privilege of doing this reading in person. And Awkwardly Gothy is capturing this moment for us so we get to continue to share this moment into the future.
For eternity.
Very special.
Is the cosmos watching?
This is what happens when two Cancer ascendants get together that are related.
I learned something good on your show today about the Jupiter and Neptune influence on the greatest sign of all, Pisces.
Pisces, the mutable water.
That's right. We see dead people.
I would not doubt that at all.
And they're usually walking down the street.
Mm-hmm. Clairvoyance, clairaudience, psychic ability, that's all connected
Subject
to the sign of Pisces.
to addiction. A lot of Pisces are addicts.
Well, the mutable water sign is able to be closer to the surface of the waters, and then they're able to dive down deeper into the Scorpio territory. And so I think the ability to be changeable can be hard. It can be challenging for a lot of the mutable signs in general, not just Pisces. Oh, here we go. You're ready. You're ready?
No, that was putting my intention into it. Now she gets to like say, okay, yeah, you guys go this way, that way.
You're gonna get an 11-card reading, and the spread that I'm gonna use is the Celtic cross spread. So I'm gonna make sure that I lay the spread facing forward with our dear friend Baffy here. Yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and lay down the first card.
Okay.
Given that it's a general, this is going to represent the current moment. If you had asked a question, it would be more indicative of what is surrounding the question at hand. So card 1 is the present moment.
3 of Cups.
And look who it is. We've got number 15 of the 22 major arcana. And this is the Devil. It's the Capricorn card. Look who's here. I think we properly invoked.
High five. Oh, wait, high two.
So having this in the present moment talks about working very hard, and similar to the energy of the goat, the uphill climb and focusing on the next step and how you can get yourself a little higher when it comes to the goals that you're pursuing. So having this here talks about the ability to create and being in a place where the work that you're doing, you're not done with the current work that you are engaged in right now. Now, the second card of this reading, this is going to represent a force that is either working with the current moment or a force that is intended to be in opposition for friction, for movement, for motion. And regardless of whether it's working with card 1, it's going to act as a bridge from the most recent past to the upcoming future. So either way, it has a message. And the card that I have is the 7 of Cups, Venus in the fixed water sign of Scorpio. And this is the card of overindulgence. And I'm sure you can relate to that. Too much good food. You're having a great time.
We're going to do it right.
Kicking it back a
to
little.
an extreme. Smash everything into one drink.
And it can be a lot on the emotional well-being because the emotions want more fluidity and they want to be able to be expressed more openly and outwardly because there is a certain privacy with this sign of Scorpio, and this is saying, hey, you know, allow those expressions to come out, allow the emotions to come out. It's going to be for your betterment. So that is the bridge to cross from the most recent past to the upcoming future, is to engage in more emotional working. You're going to want to try and elevate your vibration from the realm of the intellect, from the mind, up into water. So most people will tell you the reverse. But the truth is, if you can operate from an emotional place and you can feel good in that place, it's going to be healthier and better for you overall than the mind. It's so hard to get from the mind to the heart.
Right.
But in order to do that, you really have to sink in with the emotions.
And that was the Seven of Cups?
Seven of Cups.
Okay.
Okay. So that's very Venusian. So it's saying, look, let's take all this pleasant energy that had been experienced and let's apply it to something that's going to be even better.
Cool.
Now, the third card of this reading, this card is going to be in the position of the mind. This represents the conscious and something that you're aware of, and it's above the reading. This is a classic Celtic cross spread. So this represents where the mind currently is. And this is Venus in Aquarius, and the perception of this card, because it's a swords card and a lot of the swords cards are challenging, it talks about needing to reprogram something. And because it's Venus related, and I believe you have Venus in Aquarius, it's revisiting the way you express love, romance, how you share yourself when you're in harmony, when you're operating from a place of well-being. And this, in the conscious mind, whenever you have an inverted pentagram here, all it takes is looking at things from a new perspective to get the essence of spirit again, because the top point of the triangle is our access to spirit. And it's important to pull up energy from the ground and your root chakra and your earth star chakra under your feet. It's really important to work with both. But I'm just saying, if you want to work more with spirit and you want to bring more of the divine in, then you're going to have to be willing to mentally look at things from a different perspective.
I have a question on that
Yes.
one. I don't want to mess up your reading,
You're
but
fine.
I have a question.
Please.
Like on the, doing the, what is it? What's the name of the ritual? Not the star ruby, but the ritual of is it the pentagram?
Yes.
Where going up is that invoking, or
It
is
is
that
invoking.
banishing? So up is invoking, down is banishing.
Yes, and the way that you draw the pentagrams in certain rituals, you are invoking planetary energies or elemental energies,
Right.
whether you're working with the pentagram or the hexagram, and it is to try and engage in those to see how they can impact your life and to work with those energies, but it's very personal to you and your chart.
So it's not necessarily the top point, it's the fact that going from the top and turning it around is
turning
a
it around.
different perspective.
Yes, it's flipping the perspective around, kind of similar to the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is hanging down and he looks kind of powerless until you flip him around and you realize he's seated like the emperor.
Oh, that's
and the
true.
emperor is throned and the emperor is very
true.
empowered.
Oh.
So when you flip things over, sometimes it's for your betterment. And this is a situation where if you just flip your perspective over and you're willing to see things through that different lens, there's a lot of things to be gained. And Aquarius is a very futuristic sign. So there's access. You can access energy from other timelines that can help this timeline. Because of that Aquarius, that personal Aquarius association that you have with your own chart. You have Venus in Aquarius.
Cool.
All right. The card that's down in the subconscious, and this can be a little more hidden, this is the King of Cups.
A lot of cups.
The Knight of Cups. Yes. What's great about him is he is pursuing his holy grail. The chalice that he's holding is something that he went on a quest for. And he's holding it up in reverence because this is something that he put a lot of work in obtaining. And now that he has it, he wants to share it with other people. And he wants to explain to others that the journey is important because there is something to gain in the process. And it's a very matured card. It's a very emotionally matured card. So I think it's talking about how the subconscious is very aware of how you can operate and what you can do in regards to helping others in the world around you. And I think the subconscious wants to have that bubble up to the conscious, where the conscious gets out of the way and understands that the subconscious has bigger plans and bigger goals and dreams in the works, and you just kind of have to some extent, surrender. But I mean, never at the extent or the expense, never at the expense of your own individual will.
That makes sense. To me, what I'm picking up from the spread so far is this is like the emotion or the heart.
Yes.
And if you think about things, you'll usually never do them. But if you go with your intuition or you go with your heart or your subconscious sometimes without overthinking it, it might actually lead to something better.
Yes. And the mind is the easiest to reprogram out of the 4 suits. So that's why it's always portrayed in such a difficult light. We have the ability to retrain the mind, and there's certain patterns there that aren't going to work as well moving forward.
Makes sense.
The card in the most recent past is the 8 of Cups, and it's funny because this was his card for the last month.
Oh.
This is Saturn and Pisces.
She says, yeah, you need to pick another card, the month's over.
When are you going to pick a new card for a new month? So Saturn and Pisces, I'm sure you felt some of that energy. And funny enough, Saturn is currently in Pisces, in the later degrees of Pisces.
Yeah. Saturn can go fuck himself.
Jupiter likes to expand and is very generous. It's considered the greater benefic for a reason. Saturn is the greater malefic. And everyone thinks, here comes the bad guy, because Saturn is serious. And it's all about maturing and being able to do things from a more long-term, long-lasting style and approach. Saturn in Pisces creates a restricting and a tightening of the nature of Pisces. Pisces is very mutable. They want to be able to have changeability. It's not a fixed sign. And so what happens is Saturn comes along and Saturn's like, gotcha, we're going to do things this way and only this way. And you don't have a choice. You're kind of locked in like a roller coaster.
Yeah, don't like that.
Don't like it. Exactly. And so because of that, it does create a certain challenge with the emotions, and it doesn't allow there to be enough fluidity with the emotions. And so I think what needs to happen, again, this bridge is talking about introducing more water, and there's ways of bringing an element into your day-to-day life. There's so many ways of doing that, and I'm sure you probably already have some ideas on how you can incorporate it. So if we move over this bridge and we look at this as a temporary bridge, about a week of just feeling like you're trying to move forward, then the upcoming future is the Empress. And she promises the next 3 weeks to the next 3 months really pleasant energy. She is, again, a Venus energy, similar to some of the other connections. We had Venus up in the conscious, we had Venus as the bridge, and now we have the Venusian card, the Empress. She is the active form. So the Priestess is the passive feminine, and the Empress is the active feminine. She engages. She puts herself out there. She's really doing a lot to try to nurture others and be very giving and very loving and creating this safe space. And so what's happening here is I can see this stepping into of a certain feminine energy where you want to be there for people. You want to be that reliable shoulder, and you want to be someone where people feel that they can engage in their own healing process and their own healing cycle. And you want it to be done out of love. You really want people to feel that and sense that. And so I do think that that's very possible with this card because of the emotional work. So it's kind of redefining those Venus attributes for you.
Now, is that associated with Virgo?
This is associated with Venus, and Venus does well in a lot of the feminine signs.
Okay.
However, the ruler, Venus as a ruler, is for Taurus, and Libra.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
So what's happening here is that this is talking about taking on more when it comes to leadership and having more responsibility. And I know what you do for work, so having to take care of a lot of ladies and making sure that they're happy and kind of being the house mom in a way.
They're demons.
You got to make sure they're all okay. They're like the baby birds, and you just want to make sure that everyone is happy and that they're able to come together and everyone is in a pleasant mood, because nobody needs to be tearing each other down. There's just too much of that anyway.
Yep.
So I can see you really just stepping into that and, being that go-to person more and more. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and build the column up here. This next card represents the Courant. This card represents yourself. And it's the Four of Discs, Sun in Capricorn. This talks about the work that you're doing coming together and the foundation that you're laying starting to manifest. As it's a disc card, you can expect money, you can expect progress, maybe ask for a raise in December. Why not? And there's a lot of things that can come with this. There's a lot of promises. When you work hard and you show people what you're able to build, this can bring a lot of rewards, and it's things that will manifest on the physical plane. So I would say continue to work hard, and in December, you should be able to see something substantial. The card, and you're working really hard as well. I just want to let you know, the first card that we pulled here was the Capricorn card. And here we show again that you're really sort of stepping into working hard, really throwing yourself at something, really investing, building. It takes a lot of labor. This next card is your work, your environment, where you spend a predominant amount of time. So it can be your home. It just sort of depends on how the card coincides with the position.
Connects it, yeah.
Oh, from the bottom. Here we go, from the top. This is an interesting card because it talks about a temporary loss. This is Saturn in the fixed sign of Taurus.
Saturn again.
Yes, Saturn again. Saturn wants a fee. All right.
A fee?
Saturn wants a fee.
Pay the boatman?
Yes.
Oh,
Saturn's coming around.
whaley.
And Saturn is saying, if you don't want me to cause you problems, then you're gonna throw a little bit of money my
sacrifice.
way. You're gonna throw some stuff in my direction.
Blood eagle someone.
And
Please, Saturn.
This is gonna be a more recent thing. I hate to say this. We're gonna be experiencing a new moon on Sunday. Probably in about a week's time, there's going to be an unexpected expense or something popping up where we're not planning on addressing this. But all it takes is moving some resources around, and it's addressed and it's taken care of. It doesn't have to be more than just the immediate situation, handling the situation, done. There's no tower here. There's no hangman. It's not something, or the hermit, where it's going to perpetuate and we're not really going to get answers. It's more of a temporary situation where there's going to be a mild setback. Were you expecting a bonus?
No.
Okay, so it's not that you're waiting on
vacation.
something. Well, that's definitely not in the cards.
No, it's not.
No. So we're going to move on to your hopes and or fears. I'm sure vacation may or may not be a part of that. This is the Five of Cups, Mars in Scorpio. So Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. And you would think, okay, this is going to work really well. It's Mars in a water sign. It's fixed water. It's a feminine sign. Well, what could go wrong? The problem is that the emotions want to flow freely, but the energy of the planet, there's a lot of aggression here. There's a lot of emotions that are not flowing in the right way. So once again, we're returning back to the emotional well-being, trying to figure out what are the needs of your moon. Because anytime you're upset, there's an unmet need. And when you ask yourself and you stop, okay, I'm going to listen to myself. I'm not upset for other people. I'm upset because there's an unmet need within me that wants me to hear it. It needs to be addressed.
So ask what instead of why.
What do I need to do for myself? What do my emotions need right now from me? How can I show up for me? And that's a way of rechanneling the energy to give the emotions what they want. Because the more you ignore the emotions, what happens?
Oh, the worse it gets.
They get more angry.
Yeah.
They get more and more angry, more and more irrational, and they're not going to work with you, and they're going to ruin your day, and they're going to mess with your tech, and then there's a nail in your tire, and then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy, the domino effect. Someone recently told me, and I thought this was so powerful, that when you think thoughts against yourself, or when you're thinking in a way that's really critical and hurtful for yourself, you're doing black magic against yourself. And I thought that was so powerful.
Yeah, because you're inviting
bringing
in and holding on to the
energy you're attracting
negativity.
and the energy you're generating.
Instead of deflecting
it's not even
it.
intentional.
No.
Because it's always there, but if you let it go through, or you say, oh, okay, I know what you're trying to do, guess what? I'm going to choose this. And then it just is like, fuck you, and it goes away.
You're able to see the pattern.
Right.
And if you're able to see the pattern and you're able to stop yourself and get that perspective, and that's really returning back to the mind.
Right.
It's saying, no, I'm not going to replay this same pattern that I picked up.
It's also very Hindu, because like, you know, with the oneness, that's how it was, like that blast of negativity, you recognize it and you're like, oh, well, that's too bad. I'm going to choose to go over here.
Energy's energy. We can use it all.
Yep.
So I'm just going to say the way to help the emotions is just to give into them. Let them be divas. Let them demand space. Let them have you cry for an hour and then take a nap and then watch a movie and then order Pizza Rock. I mean, it's...
Pizza.
There's so many different
My emotions need pizza.
Yeah, when your emotions, you say, emotions, what do you need today? And it's just
There you go.
pizza box with your most favorite pizza. This is going to be the result of the reading, and then you'll have one more card.
Okay.
So this is the overall result. And as this was the upcoming future, if you would have asked a question, this is where you would really see an answer come together. Since it's a general, this should just wrap up
Should
kind of the moment.
Should I do Ohms first?
Do Ohms. What a fantastic card.
Is that my favorite card, the art card?
This is the art card.
See, it all turned out
Number
okay.
14.
Why was I worried?
Samek, Hebrew letter Samek, and it's for
Samek.
Sagittarius.
Where's that
mutable
on
fire.
the Sephiroth?
That's a good question.
I'm not sure what path
path?
that is. Yeah.
I want to say it's the path between Malkuth and Yesod.
And Yesod? Okay. Yeah, I thought it was Yesod.
Or maybe
Yesod.
it's... We'll have to find out.
That's a good question.
We
Who
should...
thought of that?
I wonder. We should check.
Yeah.
This card talks about...
I love that card. It's one of my favorite cards.
The working that you're doing and how you are in a process, an alchemical working, taking opposing sides.
Yin, yang.
The red eagle, the white lion. You're bringing together this water fire, mixing it into the holy cauldron. And the purpose of this is to make gold.
Ooh.
Well, in order
Alchemist.
to make gold, you need to have gold. And if you want to become gold, you need to recognize the gold within.
And you have to be refined.
And that life is going to do that to you anyway.
Yep.
I'm just saying that there's something that you're currently already involved in. You're already in a process. You've already engaged something. And I don't think the product of this working is going to come together until Sagittarius season, because this gives me a timeline.
Was that December?
So I'm going to say end of November, beginning of December, the product of what it is that you've been working on is really going to come together.
And that's funny
that point.
because the Scorpio over there says, just make it through the holidays and then look at another career.
Yeah.
She did.
Well, because
Ooh.
there's something that is still in the works.
Yeah.
And you don't want to, especially with a card like this that's divinely led, there's something else that's happening on a spiritual level that you don't want to cut short.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck it up.
Not at all, because there are things are very much interconnected in the web, the grand scheme of things. So I'm going to lay one more card up here.
Okay.
And this is the gift guide card. Mm-hmm. So this is the Princess of Swords. Again, another air swords card. And what's interesting about her is that she's able to overcome certain difficulties of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
She is heir of earth, and she's able to blend the intellect with pretty much hard work and overcoming things, persevering. And I think she's aware of certain things. She knows what could trip her up or what has been a struggle for her in the past. And yet here, she's always able to overcome, and she's able to keep certain things in the past and not let it affect the present. And so my message with her is that if you want her gift, every princess brings a gift. If you want her gift, which is the 2 in the suit, so the 2 of swords is peace. If you want peace, then you're going to have to let go of the past. There's just something you're not letting go of. And to get that peace, the mind needs to let it go. And then you'll feel better.
Cool. Very good.
You'll get her reward. You'll get her the 2 of swords. So I hope you liked your tarot reading, and I wish we were able to time it, because I'd like to know sort of how long each of these take. But
I think she'd be able to timestamp it. So thank you. Great job. Great job.
I'm
And
really happy to give you a
congratulations
reading.
on your show. I enjoy it.
you.
And you're going to be a great success, because not just being my daughter, but being a Pisces, I can be like, it's not for me. But this one is the one who got me into astrology, into the occult, per se. Gemstones, their mystic meanings, their properties, all that stuff. So thank you.
You're welcome.
You've been a great teacher.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
Yes. Thanks
Have a
for
great
joining,
reading.
Everybody.
Yes, thank you.
You're next. Daughter of Nuit.
I would
Get your
love
own.
to.
Don't be stingy. Saturn will find you.
Right?
Tell us a little bit about your show
Yes.
on Whatnot again.
So I have been doing lives on Whatnot, and my business is Daughter of Nuit. I do astrology charts. Every show, I will go over 3 celebrity charts celebrating their birthdays. I also do tarot readings. I usually do a 3-card pool just because I want to be able to connect and communicate with as many people as I can. And I always feel very grateful that anyone would trust me with that information. I always try and be very mindful and respectful. If I have your charts, or if you're doing a reading, you could do it in private, you could do it in public. I want to respect those boundaries. And I've been having a great time.
You look like you're having fun.
I've been loving it. It's been so fun. Mr. Aoide and my mom, Awkwardly Gothy, they've really helped me out, and I've been able to, I'm in my first week of my business, and I've been able to establish myself thanks to both of you.
Yes.
Thank you so
And the community. There's a lot of good people supporting.
The community has been outstanding.
Yeah.
I love the community.
Yeah, me too. So shout out to all of you know who you are,
Yes.
and you're all tagged on
Thank
her
you.
shows and on mine also,
Thank
on
you.
Mr. Aoide. So thank you guys. Have a great night. I hope to
Yes.
see you all getting a reading soon.
Absolutely.